what you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like.
That's a loaded one. Can we start on that one, or can you cut it and I can just go from here?
Just go.
All right, yeah. So no, it was good, sort of what you expect. We the fitness test is weights, core, and then we have a what we call a gut check, and most coaches do this kind of stuff. It was actually pretty good. You do this long enough, you know that not everybody's going to pass it, and so the ones that don't, you want to see them gut it out the end, and in a way, you want them to barely miss the mark. And so there were some really good things. The one that I take the pride in the most, and I think is the most valuable, are runs at the end, and we only had like 3 girls not make it, and so that's pretty good. 3 out of 18.
Okay, and you talked a lot last year about how you had such a young team, you were building a lot of this season, and some of those players are returning, but you're also, you have a lot more young players that came in. Just kind of talk about that and how it's been meshing well so far.
Well, so this morning we're having to go slow out of the gate because on top of the young girls last year, we have another good-sized recruiting class of youth. And so our upperclassmen right now, we have some girls that are still rehabbing, so they're not out. And so like we have 2 seniors that are going to be battling to try to play that last year, and so there's a lot of good competition. But we told the girls the best kind of teammates, one that's coming in and like, I'm going to take that spot, but they're going to be respectful of the outcome that the coaches decide on game day. And so we got already sort of see that today. Girls, we paired the experience with the inexperience today in partner drills, and it was much more cooperative than I was expecting. So, but we spent a lot of time in the spring, a lot of time over the summer working on some just team core unity. So there were some things I wasn't happy about some mechanical stuff, but we threw a lot of information at it. But as far as just more of just a grit and sort of like a buy-in, that was nice already.
When you advanced all the way to regional semis last
Regional finals.
Regional finals, with a young team that maybe you didn't expect seeing that going in, how does that make you optimistic about building on that this season?
So right now, we schedule pretty tough. We'll play 3 top 10 teams in the first 2 weeks. And so right now, based on when we get some kiddos back, we'll determine really more of that. But because last year we came out of gate slow and surged up to the end, the reason that took so long was because I just don't think the buy-in was there as early as it could have been. So we spent all spring about more just the grit and more of just like what's your goals for your time here. And so in a weird way, I think that's stronger than last year. So I think we'll be able to, I'm hoping the learning curve is going to go faster. So we brought in some athletes, and so we accept the fact that we're going to have to go a little bit slower in teaching some mechanical and system, but the athleticism will help us further down the road in the playoffs.
And then what are some of the returners that you really expect to see some leadership from this year?
Well, so Selena Batiste is going to be a junior setter. I think this is going to be the year for her. I think she has a chance. I don't want to cook her goose or anything, but I think she got a chance at All-American. And then Taylor Kress, she really was coming into her own. She did great in the playoffs last year, and then we were worried that she could be a one-hit wonder. And then this spring she did great. And then we have a sophomore libero. She's a little awkward, but her name's Chandler Vogel. She's right behind you guys, but she's matured a lot. And so we thought it would take her junior year before she really started showing some leadership, but I think we're going to see that this year.
All right, and you've been coach here for a while, so tell me about how this specific team is different from other teams you've coached.
So when we got the first couple of years, girls, the people were just a little bit more gritty, so that it was easier to overcome challenges. And so now we got these kids that are so much more athletic and so much more talented, but they don't realize that. They don't realize how high their ceiling can go. So it's a little weird. So you have these other kids that are like, they could, whatever you said, you can't do this, you can't do that. They'd be like, I'm going to prove you wrong. And so now you have these kids that can do all that stuff, and now it's getting them to understand that they can. They don't realize how high their ceiling is. And some kids that come back, they'll see that. They'll realize, wow, like the sky's the limit. But if you don't realize that, what's the point? So it's more getting them to see what they can do.
And what's your strategy to like bring that out in them?
Well, the beauty about being a coach for a while is sometimes you hit home runs and sometimes you strike out, but you're hoping your batting average is good. So what we're doing right now is in the morning, we're going back to almost like a John Wooden style. There's an old saying they taught them how to tie their shoes. We are doing a lot of stuff without the ball right now, just getting some movement patterns down. So that's just muscle memory. So now when we go in the afternoon and we go over the net, everything's about watching the flight of the ball. We're trying to help them not have to overthink right now. And then we're just going to be a little bit more patient right now.